keeping that controlled in their favor.
Well, look at this. Molotov and smoke on Fnatic. There's definitely a trick up their sleeves here, so we'll see what it is. Flusher showing some early presence over by B. I mean, those Molotovs can be used to bomb up certain parts of the B bomb site, so actually, yeah
and make
already
it very uncomfortable for those defenders, especially if that goes towards
Snacks.
Grill. There's a player there.
Snacks has to move, and when he moves, he's actually sitting right at the edge. Stands up with the fire, goes, but Pasha picks up 3 headshots, comes in for a 4th. We're not going to get it. That round probably could have been great for Fnatic, but Pasha ripped them apart. Now it's going to be Flusher out of the bomb site. They're controlling the bomb as well, and he is in a 1v3 here at the end. And he goes down to Bayali. Pasha, just like on Inferno, terrific pistol rounds for him here.
Fantastic pistol rounds, and actually, I mean, that's what I'm talking about when VP knows how to control that middle in their favor. They love having that player in the vents, and controlling mid the way they do and having that player in vents gives them so many more options on helping to support defend that B bomb site. They're not getting stuck behind the smokes or Molotovs that are tossed into the site or towards CT spawn, towards that lower choke point or the upper choke point. So coming out of vents is Pasha just wreaking havoc.
That is terrifying, and a lot of effort put into that round from Fnatic. You could see the Molotov was dead on perfect. Everything from there on out looked really good, and then Pasha just destroyed them.
Yeah, it was a great call. Snacks was in so much trouble, although he did manage to find the one spot that wasn't being burned. He was kind of crouching under the lip, but very uncomfortable position to be in.
Bayali, the only one currently holding over at A, which is a little bit risky it seems, but they're going to find the entry frag either way. Is this I mean, they're just waiting. They got the bomb all the way back here. They just want one entry frag somewhere, Fnatic.
Right, and they didn't invest too much. Oh, that's a nice shot through the smoke, but that wasn't Flusher. Who was that dropped Pasha down with so low? But anyways, they're not investing any armor into this round. They didn't get a plant, so they probably didn't feel comfortable buying, especially early on. Bialy with the MP7 is going to get 2 down to Flusher. No chance for a bomb plant here really in this round, anyways.
No, not really. Flusher maybe could do a little bit more damage, but Taz is going to find him for the triple. And Virtus.pro will pick up the second round, only losing by Ali, so that's pretty decent at this point in time. Olofmeister and JW yet to kill someone, but that's not really a big deal here, and they should be going for more saving, maybe a couple of pistols, but nothing too exciting. Pretty slow start to the third map for Fnatic.
Right, and it's all in the back of the Pasha's just masterful pistol round, just demolishing them. Now, I mean, denying the plant, they don't have enough money to really buy anything in the second round to do any damage or get a plant in that round as well, and because of that, they can't force buy here in the third, so just going to head into that 4th round, and it's actually going to be a rarely seen, pretty standard, 2 saves and then into a gun round.
Taz looking for an opening. They did put up the smoke Fnatic to try and get the boost up and maybe put some pressure on VP here in the middle. Not going to quite work out. Taz is getting the read here. He is. Style points for jumping and shooting with the FAMAS.
Doing his Batman impression, then even running back to save the M4.
Spider-Man impression.
Spider-Man.
I don't know why, but Taz is like Spider-Man.
He's a big Spider-Man fan?
Yeah, apparently.
You can tell a lot about a person by the kind of Superman, the superhero they like.
Really?
I think
so.
Is it like it's a personality thing.
What does it say about you if you like Spider-Man?
I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one.
Right.
I didn't have it planned out that far ahead.
Well, I feel like Spider-Man's just a little bit more nerdy, right? Batman is like the guy who goes to the gym and,
It's the playboy, the rich.
Yeah, exactly. So you might be right. I agree. I'll double down on that. Neo looking for an opening, and the angle could not possibly be better. Taking down Olofmeister here, and a little bit annoying for Fnatic, obviously, as this is their first buy round, and they want to get as much out of it as they possibly can. And Flusher just hoping that VP might try and push aggressively behind it.
Yeah, and look how spread out Fnatic is at the moment. I mean, there's really nothing that they're going to have to reconvene. It looks like they want to reconvene over here towards the B bomb site, but for some time they don't really have any chance of equalizing a kill. Just spread out across the map, and Fnatic's a team that's going to rely on trades. They're so good at trading kills and entering into the bomb sites, and when they're not grouped up like that, they can't find those. So now they're finally coming together, like I said, towards B. But there's a good defense over here. Neo boosted up on the box. Snacks with an AWP watching checkers, and Neo actually just falls off that boost.
Yeah, that boost was actually something we saw RPK do for Titan, and had some pretty decent success with it. So I guess he wasn't feeling it any longer. I think Neo spotted one person going to checkers. That's going to be good information for Snacks. Should be ready for the crossover here. Flusher instantly taken out, and Neo now he can really wait and buy time, but he's going to go aggressive anyway and get the headshot there. Second one as well, and Pronax will be the last man standing. Goes down, flawless round from Virtus.pro. Triple kill for Neo. And neither him nor Taz have died yet, so that's a pretty good start here, 4-0.
Yeah, and actually, it's a beautiful run from Neil. And, you know, he's a player that we always like seeing him succeed because it's those flashbacks, the nostalgia to when he was just this dominant force. And it seems like every time I watch him on Cash, he has a very, very strong game on this map. He just feels good on it.
Yeah, plus there's something funny as well about just personality-wise on this team. Pasha and Taz are super personality heavy, whereas Neo is always like the calm guy in the background, you know, always smiling, always friendly, but always a little bit more laid back. And then he's just like this superstar in the game. There's something satisfying about that as well.
Right.
It goes back to the whole Spider-Man thing, doesn't it? Byali picking up 2 kills there to take down Flusher and Olofmeister, and then Crims hoping for someone to show up. But Byali, speaking of people who are good at playing their positions, at this forklift, Byali is a superstar as well, all on his own. So a triple kill here for him, 5-0. I mean, what do Fnatic do to slow this down? Because Virtus.pro, I don't know if you guys can hear them in the background, but we can hear them all the time. They're so fired up right now.
Right, and they're loving it. And I mean, I guess Fnatic, the way they want to stop it is the double op setup on the T side, so they pull out 2 of those, JW and Olofmeister, 2 very effective oppers, 2 very different opping playstyles, and that could throw them for a loop depending on where they want to go. It looks like one is going to go over towards V to try and get a pick, so their idea to kind of break into this bomb site, what those double op setup does, it slows down your offense, so you're very reliant on getting some kind of an opening kill at one of these bomb sites or in middle, so they're going to wait for the ops to have some kind of effect, and one player just jumps right over, that's Byali, jumps right over Olaf scoped.
And I think Olaf saw it as well. Might be beneficial, but right now I'm loving Taz's position here. That's so hard to deal with if you try and come out. Even if you just peek through Squeak here, it's always a bit of an off angle. Crims almost doing it there. The flashbang was nearly going to kill Taz.
That's such a tight corner, too, when he's jumped up on the railing instead of actually on the catwalk. It's such a tight angle, but Olaf takes the opportunity and swings out and grabs him, so there's that pick Fnatic was looking for.
Mid-air as well. That's a really fast one. Look at Pasha's return. Oh! It could have been perfect timing, but JW will take him down. Big double opening for Fnatic here. But you can tell that that was Pasha's way of saying, let's get back in the round. We've lost a member. We'll have to go and search for some information. And it's something Pasha does so much in the middle as well. And
it was actually a good call. If he was looking at the right way at the right time, it was just unfortunate that how those peaks worked out.
Snacks with a good kill there by Ali. Hailing in the corner. Gonna end up going down. Pronax actually crouch peeking under his scope, so or under his crosshair, so very good stuff. Snacks still fighting, and I'm not sure he should be. I definitely think VP should fall back and try and save here.
Yeah, I don't think they're planning on going for this, but I mean, that's good from Neo. They want to just kind of stay active and stay close by to try and get a couple kills to keep that economy low, so that if Virtus.pro can win the next round, it's going to break the economy. It's going to reset it instead of letting them save too many weapons where they could rebuy or not even have to drop each other weapons.
Pronax solo, and Snacks will pick up the kill, and there it is. JW was ready with the headshot, so VP, I mean, they did take out 3 members and still managed to save this M4. I don't think Neo can get the AWP in here without dying.
JW's watching for it. Oh, he misses the shot, though. Is he going to get it? He does. He jumps out. What a ballsy play by Neo.
That's actually huge. I mean, they have so much money that they could have rebought that AWP, but it's going to save them $4,750. That's terrific. 5-1, though. And the 7th round starting off here. Now, I think maybe not the whole first half, but a really large portion of it is going to be decided by whether or not Fnatic can string together consecutive rounds or whether they're going to get shut down by VP here. They got to keep winning.
Well, and they got to be careful too, because you know that is with that double op setup. You saw how much slower pace that Fnatic round was from them, and it paid dividends. It got them the picks they needed. And that's what's going to happen, because even if they get that opening, that was Byali, like you said, wonderful in that spot. He shows it there, but they get that opening pick and they still play remaining slow. They don't have the 4 AKs to just, you know, bully their way into a site. So they're playing far back, waiting for Pasha to push up, and they get that kill. But look at Virtus.pro here.
They're really shutting down Fnatic. JW and Flusher are left, and whatever they were trying to do wasn't working. I mean, they had the really cool boost to look over the edge of the smoke. They've done it on the other side of main as well. But this time, they just get entirely shut down. And now JW, I mean, if Virtus.pro play this one carelessly, there's still a way back in. And I guess Neo pushing forward like this is going to make it tough. But Flusher will find that kill. So maybe giving a slight opening here.
And that's going to be the call. I mean, the bomb's over towards B. There's 30 seconds left, and there's the op. Once again, getting a nice frag on a Taz, so that's going to open things up even more. And Snacks is going to have some work to do jumping out of this. He throws a nice flash. Now the Molotov tries to delay him. Oh, it does not make it past that smoke, but like Snacks does, he just plays right in it.
Yeah, now JW is alone. Pasha showing up to try and salvage the situation, and Scope not going to be quick enough this time. Snacks will get the kill at the end, and VP will stabilize. Although that was actually turning into a slightly scary round at the end there. 6-1, and the reset for Fnatic here. I mean, I don't think they should try and go for any kind of buy here. I think it's too big of a risk. It used to be in the past, I think before people figured out how to really counter it, and maybe before the nerf, although I don't think the nerf made that big of a difference, Fnatic might have gone for like a crazy Tech-9 train here. But
yeah, they might have been, but also, it's still pretty early on in the half, you know, it's not like they're in very dire straits. They can still feel out a little bit how Virtus.pro is playing, and I mean, they're almost doing like a very Titan-esque type thing. It's almost like a tactical pause without actually pausing it. They're just talking about what's going on and what they're seeing. And one more thing that might be very good for them in this round is Virtus.pro switched to a double off setup. So with these pistols, this is where they could discover that that's being employed, so they can adjust it going into the next round. It's not going to catch them nearly as off guard.
yeah, that would be good. Just getting a little bit of information. Snacks already revealing that AWP. Now they just need to find Pasha, who's playing, yeah, well, pretty much the back line here all the way by the truck, so no information of the second AWP yet. But if they see Snacks with one, there might not be a stretch. They can sort of guess, well, Pasha might have one somewhere else as well.
Right, and they're actually going away from Pasha right now, though. That's the tough part, and Snacks is going to have a lot of work to do.
Well, there it is. Grenade on out, softening up the targets a little bit more, and Neo with the crossfire. So just getting completely sandwiched in here or shut down. Snacks with a good triple kill, 7-1. And look at this. I mean, they have, look how few deaths they have here. We're 9 rounds in, and they've just been surviving such a long time.
And now we get to see what Fnatic came up with during that eco round when they were staying in spawn, what they talked about, how they want to counter what Virtus.pro is doing to them. And look at the side on Virtus.pro. Molotovs in this match are just so crucial, and they have 4 of them behind 5 smokes.
Yeah, maybe they're just going to go for a smoke execute towards A. In fact, they're running up here to set up for it, so that's pretty much the confirmation of it. Very, very successful smoke round here. Usually from Fnatic, they managed to put in smoke going down, and you can see Pasha having a hard time now with it, but they're actually running back, so it's just a huge fake coming out right now.
Yeah, and they've drowned the rotations. It sucked Virtus.pro away from this B site perfectly, so all up to Neo, who's so used to these situations, playing bomb sites alone. The specialist reloading at the wrong time, and he's got to be very careful. They could cross over.
Snacks finds the opening. Neo now going to call it out to his teammates that we've been fooled. Neo trying to take the fight here. He ends up going down, and Taz will drop as well. Great call from Fnatic. And Pronax taking the time to really think about what might work, and it was absolutely flawless so far. 3v4 here. Bomb down as well. Such a tough retake from Virtus.pro. See if they can maybe put a couple of shots through, but so far, nobody from Fnatic showing himself. Snacks trying to shoot down through that railing, but not quite yet. Going to connect then by Ali with 2 great kills, but still not enough. And Pasha going to have to run and save the AWP. So finally, Fnatic going to pick up another round.
And look how much damage was done. I mean, at one point, all 4 remaining Fnatic members were down or hovering around, 25, 30 HP. Crimson's up at 44, but with so many ops on the CT side, so difficult to retake that bomb site. If they have another rifle in there, they can, easily come in and spray down some of those kills and create an opportunity for them.
Go for the man fight. Well, 7-2. It's definitely an opening, but the name of the game, it still feels to me like has to be consecutive rounds for Fnatic. They can't afford to have like a string of individual rounds that are sort of spread out across the first half. Right. Virtus.pro's economy is good. Well, actually, it's only good on one person. So there's a real chance that Fnatic could take just a few rounds in a row here and force an eco, and then they'd have a great first half already. So it's pretty good actually still. Yeah, it's so very early on into this matchup. So, but you're exactly right. They can't live and die by 1 round at a time. And now Pasha, like he likes to do, likes to get aggressive into the same main. Olofmeister peeking up, gets shot through the top of the box and ends up going down. That's Bayali picking up the kill. And now some wall banging coming out on the other side from Crims here, trying to connect but not quite making it. They got to be careful as well. Losing 1 entry frag might be bad, but look at what's happening on the other side. Snacks is playing, and he does like playing aggressive on this side of the map, and he's so good. Smokes and everything. It's almost like smokes makes him better. Gives him his powers. Well, and also Virtus.pro played that perfectly. Pasha pushing up, him and Viali
getting that opening kill and then falling right back, and they haven't given anything back. They haven't really taken any damage whatsoever, so playing fantastic behind this man advantage. Even Bialy, that's not a fight where he's trying to necessarily get the kill, but actually with that Molotov swings out and takes it, swings wide.
Yeah, and there's Taz in the middle, going to pick up the one now. It's looking very bad here for Fnatic. Crimson Flusher are left 2v4, and with 30 seconds, they need to get the kills quick, and they won't. Bialy to shut it down now, a triple for the young Polish player. And Flusher, I don't see a way out of this. If he could get a bomb plant, it would actually be very beneficial to Fnatic.
Yeah, it would be absolutely huge for them, and I don't even know if he'll be able to get that, but he does take out Pasha. They're going to be able to save that op because they've prioritized that double op setup. They rebought it here this round, and he does have the time to get it, but
he's got 15, 2, and 3.
Yeah, he's well, you know, Thorn, I think he just last night tweeted out that there are just some rounds where Bialy's aim just goes up to 100%. Like he just becomes this beast.
Yeah, and playing right here, both towards main and also towards the squeak door, like we were talking about earlier, he's just so good at it. It's really, really creepy. And that makes it rough, doesn't it? You've got Snax and Neo who are so good at playing B, and then you've got Bialy playing here that doesn't really leave a lot of room for the rest of the map.
Well, it's also, you know, we mentioned that how good they are and how much they understand how important mid control is. Those are the two players that will allow them to do it so effectively because they have so much confidence in Neo alone at B, Bialy playing that forklift spot. And that we should say that forklift spot with the way the wall bagging works with, like, you know, the textures of the forklift make it so difficult to clear a player out of that spot. You really have to be like, you have to hit a very precise shot or commit a player to fully swinging and clearing it.
So one thing I actually wanted to talk about in some future YouTube video is this. I think a lot of teams are missing out. They're calling a timeout now, so I might as well talk about something here. A lot of teams are missing out on this idea of taking a concept that works on one map and then transferring it onto a different map. I think that's something that's underutilized. So, for instance, double grenading. We've seen that work on multiple spots. I guess Top Banana on Inferno is the most obvious one, where people throw double grenades or you know, mid from CT side. Why not try and do the same? If you know there's a high chance that Bialy is going to be playing this corner, and there's a high chance VP are going to put up a smoke right here, you could, if you knew the angle, set up and just try and double grenade him down, or even triple grenade him down, because he's such a key player right now that either you try and ignore him and run somewhere else, but then that's the problem. Then you run into Neo and Snax over here. So maybe trying to fight him head on is a better call for it. I'd like to see Fnatic come up with some way of shutting down Bialy, because 15, 2, and 3 that's just scary.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point with the double nading. That was actually, you know, the strategy in older versions of Counter-Strike was the double nading, and what we've kind of seen how Go has evolved is that's what mollies are used for now. It's forcing these players out of position. So even throwing a Molotov there and you know, opening the squeaky door, have someone prepared to clear him out as he tries to escape the fire.
Yeah, and we've seen it used both ways. We've also seen you know, Molotovs thrown from Squeak to try and see if they can do that on their own. But I think the problem is once you open Squeak, Bialy's just so fast. There's such a big chance you're going to get shut down.
Right.
It's a really big problem here for Fnatic. JW is asking if they're ready, and Virtus.pro say they're good to go. So we should be resuming once more. So essentially, Fnatic have had one timeout that wasn't a real timeout where they just spent an eco round running around, and they made a really good call afterwards and won it. Now they've gone for, you know, the real timeout where they actually pause the game, and they can't use those. I think it's one per map.
One per map.
Yeah. So they've just used it to try and see if they can make a call. Obviously not going to be this round as they've got Glocks, but the upcoming round has to come up big for them.
Definitely does, and I mean, part of it too is, you said it, they're not getting those plants even in some of the rounds they lose. So this is more saves than we're used to seeing out of Fnatic, because we're used to seeing them have a little bit more success and get the plants to keep their economy stronger. Pasha just narrowly missing that shot at Olaf. Meister spots him in a crack in the smoke.
Good headshot from Bialy to take down Pronax. And follow-up HE grenade gonna just fall a little bit short in here. But Pasha's also spotting the bomb, so that's a big tell of what's happening here. Leg shot on Crimson. Actually still gonna go down. In the end there is Bialy in the corner, but not at all a big problem here. Bialy picking up 2 kills and Neo with the final one. So they do lose 2 members on VP's side. I guess that's some decent damage put in by Fnatic. Now we're going to have to see here, Jason, what they can come up with. It has to be something magical.
Yeah, and it was the last time there was a pause, so we'll see. Here's 2 Molotovs picked up on Pronax and Flusha. And I mean, over towards B, we saw in that pistol round how effective that Molotov is over towards that grill, the headshot angle. I'm not sure what you guys might call that in Europe, but even there's Molotovs you can throw into the site, and it really eliminates a number of spots that can be played over in that B site.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if they could try and use these Molotovs to clear out the vent as well and try and go for a pretty aggressive take on B. So there's a couple of different options for those Molotovs here. Flusher in the middle, just trying to see if he can find anything in there. They're going to double boost, and Pronax, I think there's going to be the vent Molotov here. Oh, but in the middle, they're already fighting the Molotov going in, so at least they managed to force back Snacks. But once again, he just diffuses it with the smoke and goes back to fight. This is genius play from Snacks. He only got the 1 kill, but that is really hard to deal with when you're playing on the terrorist side. You already mentally have sort of blocked out that part of the map. You know that the vent is on fire. You're not going to go back and fight it. Pasha taking a fight in the middle and goes down to Flusher. Fnatic have to make this round work, and they're a man up.
Yeah, and it looks good for them as well. Look at the defense, how it's split. Neo's over at B. I mean, the 2 positions we just talked about them being in, over towards B and at that forklift. So Fnatic still centralized. They're grouped up in the middle of the map. They haven't really committed anywhere. There's still 40 seconds left in the clock, and this has got to have the Virtus.pro players feeling very nervous because they're not really being mobile in terms of finding information out. They're just being very careful on their own, playing for each other. And Neo, it looks like he's the chosen one to go after. He gets the first shot, throws a molly to try and delay it. As he falls back, he misses another one.
Stunning play from Neo here. Gotta be careful they don't line up. He's waiting. The timing is off by just half a second. And flashbang, the one they have here. So yeah, I'm glad Bialy saved it because you've got to use that flashbang perfectly. Bomb's gonna go down, and we'll see. Are they gonna go and set up for it? It's a real shame now that Neo only has an AWP because it could be great if they could have double pushed in here behind the flash. Pronax though, gonna be taken out by Ali, and now it's all on Neo anyway to try and see if he can clutch it. Flashbang in once, just buying time, and Neo not gonna be quick enough here. Great play from Pronax and Flusher both, and Fnatic, the timeout, and then the win.
Right, that's 2 for 2 now, and actually we talked about Bialy having that 1 flashbang and had to be good. Flush actually had 2 to use, and he used them wonderfully, delaying Neo's solo trying to attempt a retake in that 1-on-2 there. Keeps him pushed back far enough, and Pronax on those boxes finishes off the kills. So 9-3, but here's the thing, they're not out of it yet. We said, yeah, the economy is so broken for Virtus.pro at the moment, and both of these teams fragile economies, but Fnatic hasn't been able to string them together quite yet.
Oh, are they going to go fast here towards Bialy? They've had such a hard time dealing with him already. But this time, spraying on through, he's being shut down. And that's a very, very nice way of doing it there. Flusher coming with a headshot. Pasha flashed as well. Taz fighting from on high. The rotation is fast from Virtus.pro, but it's not 100%. They're still sticking a couple of people. And as Neo goes down, he was the one holding over at the vents. That leaves the B bomb site entirely open. And JW to take down Snacks. This could be the turnaround moment for Fnatic. This is probably going to take them from 3 to 5 rounds if they can win it. And Pasha and Taz, they're going to have to think about whether or not they want to fight this. Because now, well, they could have saved maybe 2 rifles. Now, obviously, just Taz left.
Well, and maybe not even being able to save it. He's getting flanked out from A main. So being very, very thorough in eliminating the Virtus.pro players from this map. Olofmeister's going to find Taz. Can't win the battle, though, so Taz buys a little bit of breathing room. He's still got so much time to kill if he wants to keep this rifle in hands, although it's, it's not like Fnatic didn't have the strongest economy to keep throwing, 2 or 3 bodies at it and losing those either, but
no. Getting
him out of his hands there, it's a very good job by them.
Yeah, Pronax, I think, actually coming up with another triple kill. He's really trying to get his team back on tracks here. 9-4, and Virtus.pro just going to buy a couple of pistols and maybe some grenades here. This is a huge turnaround from Fnatic, and those timeouts, they've really been working for them.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful for Fnatic, and that time they managed to put so many players in positions to cut off rotates. Oh, JW, such a swift shot just before the smoke plumes, but look at this counter push by Pasha. Catches JW in the air, not able to win the fight, gets bailed out by Flusha. Snacks now behind the smoke, it's 1. He gets blind though, and he can't connect any more of the shots.
For a quick second, it looked like there was 3 people lining up for him in the smoke there. It was really worrying. Bialy will pick up a kill as well. Neo walking up from behind. That should be a kill. Yes, JW going down, and now Bialy almost with the shot on Pronax here. Look how low they are. They've got collectively 15 health. But they're fighting Neo. He has 1 grenade here.
Oh. I thought that was going to be a genius grenade.
Yeah.
It's a shame he only had an AWP to pick up, but...
Grenade a little bit far back. If he had got that grenade in the middle, that would almost have been too much to handle. Flush is really far away. Do they not know where Neo is?
They have to know from that nade, I would assume, but it does still look like Flush is trying to clear some things out, and Neo's not even going to go for this. So with 15 combined HP, Fnatic, and that's very unfortunate. Bialy not able to get away after he dinks an opponent. So Neo's going to come back to mid. It might be smart to save that off, but he goes for one of the kills. He grabs it onto Flusha. So significant damage done, and they get away with an AWP, so that's a good save round for Virtus.pro. That puts them in a nice position to win this last round.
Yeah, really hard to deal with for Fnatic, just being somewhat limited, I think, on grenades. If they wanted to go for a bunch of Molotovs here, it's going to be a little bit more tricky. Yeah, 9-5, and Fnatic finding that key 5 rounds that we always talk about. Playing T-side in cash, that's what you want, at least 5 rounds. If they can get 6 now, I think that's going to be a big change. Like the jump from 5 to 6 is really significant once you go into the second half.
Right, so much more breathing room with it. And now look at this, and you know, Virtus.pro, this is back to that mid control that they like to do. It got punished last time when Bialy got taken out at the forklift. Solo in that site. Oh, and Pasha trying to be overly aggressive for his team, overextends through the smoke. Olaf's in the corner waiting for it, punishes him.
Yeah, big opening frag. And Pasha may be getting a bit too predictable. He's done it a couple of times already. Oh. And Pronax with an opening on Bialy. Now, Fnatic have really come alive at the later stages of this first half. They're really starting to gear up for something. Taz walking in to take over from Bialy. But so much time on Fnatic, they don't have to commit to this, and you can tell they're really using it well.
Yeah, and they're just being patient, and Virtus.pro now has to find that information. Taz is going to take out one, but he's got so many more to deal with. Can't do it. Neo all alone with the op, and he's got to go for it. So Fnatic getting those opening picks and then just slowing things down and waiting for the information. Oh, nice shot by Neo there.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty impressive kill. But it's one of those situations where unless Fnatic make really crucial mistakes here, he's not winning it. And JW just scoped up on the truck corner. 9-6, really big turnaround. I think at one point we were at 7-2. And then Fnatic managed to fight their way back into this game here. Now it's a really competitive game once again. And you gotta kind of hope that that Fnatic do win it, just so we can get the second best of 3 in play. That way we'll see, what, Dust 2, Overpass, and Mirage, I guess, could be in there?
There'd be Nuke, Dust 2, Overpass, Mirage. It would all be in the pool. Yeah,
wow. So that could get very interesting. If you are just joining us, then a big welcome to all of you. And you're watching the ESEA LAN finals here. Currently, it's tied at 1-1 map score, but Virtus.pro do have a best of 3 advantage. So all they need to do is win one more map here and they're golden. And it could be cash. I mean, they're up 3 rounds. If they win the pistol as well, it's going to get really close.
Yeah, and this is a map they're also very, very good on, just eliminating Titan. He just they're not eliminating them, but taking that in the upper bracket finals just last night.
And we were talking about how well Fnatic have been playing on the T side. This one was a real struggle for them. So now their CT side has to shine. Grenades, 2 of them being purchased here on Pronax and 1 on Crims. And on VP, it's actually, well, 2 members with grenades. So they got the 2 smokes in here. And, yeah, maybe a setup for an A push.
Definitely does look like it. They're heading over there, but there's also a good stack here from Fnatic. 2 members in the bomb site.
Oh, and these 2 HE grenades, because they're both in the same bomb site, if they come through main and the timing is perfect, it's 5 decoys in the middle. It's pretty obnoxious as well.
Well, this almost looks like it's going to be a crunch on that A side with 2 boosted up, just waiting for that moment to pounce and perhaps run up the speedway. And Olafmeister's the solo defender there. And here comes a smoke, that smoke execution. We'll have to see where they explode to, and here it comes over the top.
Looking for an opening. Olafmeister does actually see one guy, but nobody's rotating out of the A bomb side yet. They know what's going on. They're pushing Olaf back in the middle here. They're just all in the connector, and Olaf is trying to play this as smart as he can, looking for the next angle to get a headshot. He's being run over. Flusher comes in with a headshot, turning around, running up behind them, and Virtus.pro, they're getting shot at, but they're not connecting Fnatic, and now they're in the B bomb site. They managed to wrap around through middle. Can't even remember the last time I've seen that strat put into play. And now JW taking down Neo. Pasha gonna fall as well. It's Bialy and Taz left. And Bialy shooting heads in the background here. Flusher gonna go down. It's out to Pronax and Crims, and Bialy gonna be all alone. The bomb ticking, but is it that far ticked? Crims has the kit. If he goes down, that's a big problem, but they're gonna get the kill in there. And you can hear them shout. I'm not sure. They should be getting, yeah, Crims should be defusing. That's scary.
That was a little bit scary, absolutely. And interesting, you're right, that strat doesn't get used too often, just pushing up into the connector and then swarming over towards B. Because, well, here's the problem. The reason why it's not used that frequently is exactly the issue that Virtus.pro ran into. They're on that, they're exposed from the truck side from A for so long, and they took so much damage just taking that site. And they weren't able to, you know, get in there too cleanly. It allowed a much more softened up defense for Fnatic on that retake.
Yeah, and there were a couple of missed shots from Flusher at the beginning as well. So I mean, if he just straight kills Taz right when they're on the ramp,
it looks much better.
It looks much better as well. But still pretty nicely handled from Fnatic. Not a round that they will have played too much against. So probably hard in the beginning to even figure out what's going on. Just it's hard to call sometimes. It's easy to call around where you have a set term for it, or they're running this variation of a play that we already know. But if they're running something you've never seen before, you have to kind of try and explain it to your teammates. That might not be as easy.
Right, and look at this investment from Virtus.pro as well. They have a Molotov. They just used a nice nade. They have one more onto Pasha, so they have a lot of utilities for what they want to do, and it looks like it's going to be a mid-beast, but this nade might do a good amount of damage. Not as much as I thought. Bialy down to 70, but they're still delaying it, smoking off that main choke point, so they only have to worry about checkers.
They're playing SMGs here. I mean, they could actually overpower them with this one Galil if they're just quick enough with it. But Olofmeister come charging in, and the P90 not really going to make it work here. Crims with a really nice burst onto Neo, and goes for a second one before he finally goes down. And Olofmeister's got a double kill up top as well. It's just Pasha left, and he's got a scout, and he's being chased down there. No chance for survival. And that's how 9-8. Fnatic really handling that round quite nicely.
Yeah, it was very precarious with that P90 going down right off the bat. It was such a, it was at a tipping point almost where that one more kill, if it, if the last player that bomb site didn't get 2 kills, then that would have just been the bomb site. That would have been a plant for Virtus.pro. That would have been huge damage done to the economy of Fnatic. So you're right, they held on just by a thread, but they make it work. 8-9 for Virtus.pro.
Well, the third round of the second half. Grenade. Oh, God. That could have been even worse, actually. If it lands a little bit far and still tags up Taz. But there were 2 people being boosted. If they had got hit instead, that would have been disastrous. So maybe not quite a throwaway round here from Virtus.pro, but one that's going to be really hard to deal with, especially as JW is on the hunt with the MP7. Going to pick up a couple of people and even turning around, expecting the boost, and Taz will fall right afterwards to Flusher. So now Neo, last man here alive, and blocking away best as he can. Not going to be good enough.
Yeah, not too much going for him there. And it's kind of interesting seeing JW now on the CT side, because he's a player just like Pasha who likes to make those aggressive pushes, who, they're going to, it's a kind of like go big or go home pushes, so there's going to be an opportunity to punish him when he wants to make those plays that he likes.
We've got Flusher still with a P90 and JW with an AW here, and it's all AKs now on the Virtus.pro side to try and figure out how they can get back in. I mean, it's tied at 9-9, but because of the map balance, it should be favoring Fnatic right here if they can just put together their usually pretty strong CT side here. I mean, they used to be really good at it. It's only this tournament that it's been a little bit
across all maps as well. It's not just one map, but look at Olofmeister finds the crack. Snax wins the battle, though, so nice opening pick. Still 1:20 on the clock. They can slow things down. They have a lot of ways to work now.
Pop flash down, P90, gonna spot a couple of people further on back, and Flusher putting out the Molotov here, runs and guns in the meantime, grenade to follow up, and Pasha very close, and that's actually the bomb down. Flusher picking up that kill on Snax, long range spray, and it works just like he intended.
And he's still alive. I don't know how he got out of there without falling. He's got 14 HP, so what a hold by him, and that was absolutely huge. And now he's got to be very careful for Bialy coming up in mid. He's got to check this corner. Pronax is waiting for him. Pronax wins that fight. He's going to try and get away, gets spammed through, and it confuses him a little bit. Tav's able to drop him, so 2-on-3 here.
And now look at JW. He knows that they might be coming, so he already gets into position, and that's a very smart move from him. Not only is he going to be in position if they come, but he also is going to be able to call really early that they're not coming. So you can tell that Flusher and Crims are sort of adjusting accordingly, not rotating over too quickly. Going back through the vents here, Flusher's actually going to have a hard time holding this. They don't have a grenade, so he's not going to get exploded, but 14 health, he could very quickly go down, and then it's a tough round for Fnatic.
Right, but they don't know where he is, and he might get a free shot. A blind Taz gets dropped with a headshot. Flusher having a fantastic round. And Neo nothing able to cross that gap, so a gun round for Fnatic here, and they've caught fire, and you can hear the yells. We keep saying it because both these teams are just yelling after all their wins.
Yeah, which is actually a bit unusual for Fnatic. Normally they are the most calm and composed team. Actually, almost to the point sometimes we feel like you kind of wish they would stand up and shout when they win, really big wins. But it's like they're Swedish after all, so they're a little bit calm and relaxed. But they seem emotionally invested into this game right here.
Right, well, I mean, they know from talking to them over the weekend that they feel like they've been, maybe not in a slump, but making mistakes they don't normally make. They felt like they haven't been performing as well as they'd like to. So, I mean, there's a lot of meaning in this for them if they can come back in another grand finals against Virtus.pro and win 2 best-of-3s. And right now they're just focused on winning this first one.
Oh, missed shot from JW, but luckily Pronax is there to pick up a couple of kills here. They line up for him. Triple now comes out with a pistol, very nearly an ace. Neo fighting JW, and he should be going down any second. Olofmeister will clean it up there. Still nice hold from Pronax there, and especially because if JW goes down and they manage to, and then Pronax's position is kind of locked in, they could both have fallen right there.
And then that's so many guns available to Virtus.pro to pick up and defend that retake with. So now the question is, we saw in the first half Fnatic taking those timeouts, whether it was the actual tactical pause or just hanging out in spawn for a little bit and talking things over. When does Virtus.pro get to that point where they're like, all right, we need to come up with a plan now before this gets too carried away? And look at Flusher, he still has that P90.
Yeah, I mean, well, the success in that round was overwhelming, so I guess that's a good reason to keep it alive. JW expecting someone to come. I mean, as you said a couple of times, oh, he sees the top face of Pasha and actually turns around expecting Taz to be there as well. So just a very forward thinking there. Oh, and he actually forced him back the leg shot. One more tick on Taz from that Molotov and he would have been gone.
What a counter by JW. That's a lesson that anyone playing that position, any offer, that was a beautiful. Waiting for the door to open. I was wondering when he was going to drop it, but...
Oh. That angle means he can't shoot through that wall. So...
Yeah, because we saw that kill by Kenny S through it.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain a bit how wallbanging works in just a few seconds, but right now I'm wondering if Virtus.pro can convert this into a victory. They've got... Well, they're a man down, and two of them are on life support, more or less. This is not looking good.
No, and they haven't really been able to find any picks, and they haven't been able, you know, the normal aggression of Virtus.pro to gain map control, they haven't really been displaying it here, and on top of that, without picks, not able to create any openings for themselves, so JW taking these shots, staying aggressive, not falling though, just baiting them into Pronax, and Molotov's going to force him out. Pronax gives up his position here.
Oh, and JW will get the shot before he goes down. There are people close by to pick up the AWP, and surely just a matter of time here. Yeah, Taz will go down. Pronax to pick it up, and Fnatic now at 12-9, looking better and better, and they have a really decent bank as well, so they've got a big buffer before it starts to be painful.
Yeah.
Just to explain here, wallbanging in Counter-Strike, unless something else is specified, you can put up like hard walls that no one can shoot through just by definition. Otherwise, it comes down to what material it is, the thickness of that material, and then the angle you're shooting through. Those are the three variables that are going to decide it. So it makes a really big difference if you're shooting at a really sort of a steep angle. Almost no matter what material it is, you won't be doing any damage through that. So it's still a cool idea from JW, sort of an improvised wallbang. I mean, maybe it would have worked.
Maybe he doesn't know that the angle matters. Maybe he was just going for it.
They should know at this point.
They should.
Yeah, but it is possible if you're shooting at a dead-on angle, 90 degrees straight, you'll be fine. And
look at this setup by Virtus.pro, not really committing anywhere. And I mean, this is what I'm talking about. They don't have that normal aggression we normally see out of them, not going for any kind of, you know, even... They're just so spread out that they're not able to do anything as a team, so they're just watching for that aggression. It's kind of like Fnatic has trained them a little bit to be very wary early on in the round, and it's running the clock down for them without using smokes or Molotovs to do it, but he finds it Taz as well, so finally Virtus.pro gets some life in the early stages of these rounds, and now they have complete mid control.
What are they going to do with it, though? Olofmeister sneaking in, and he goes down as well. We actually saw Fnatic use this when they were on the C side as well. Just getting the entry frags and waiting for the other team to continue to make more mistakes, and then just using that against them. Crims alone running into the middle, and going to get shot in the back here. 10-12, and Virtus.pro catching back up again. This is still a very open match.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about the bank for Fnatic just a second ago. It's still huge, but putting a dent in it, so chipping away. And now it's Virtus.pro's turn. It's so important to string some rounds together here. And that bank has very much so been completely depleted.
Yeah, and that's the double orb. I was wondering how the hell did they spend all that money, but it's double orb, it's full grenades on Pronax and, well, actually on 4 players, so...
They had to drop 1 weapon as well.
Crims being wallbanged for 6 damage. That's not too impressive, but it's still a little bit annoying. JW with what we might consider an off angle here.
A vertical off angle, so... Yeah, don't often clear that. That might be able to... I mean, although that's the drawback. You're very susceptible to those flashbangs, but... They try and dry peek this, which it doesn't look like they will, because Pasha's not over there with an AWP. They know JW's favored that weapon so far in this bomb site.
And where's Pasha playing? All the way in the middle, just hoping, waiting for that smoke to clear. They got the Molotovs as well, so they could go for a lot of different stuff. You can play Molotovs towards this bomb site as well. We were talking about firebombing out the forklift when Bayali was playing on this side. No one's there yet, but Virtus.pro really trying to put the pressure on. In the meantime, there's another Molotov going to vent, and Crims Oh, man. It's almost like killing rats in the sewer, isn't it?
Yeah, that was just absolutely brutal. Forces him out.
That's no fun at all.
But
and just to a bit of a difference between how Snacks played that, because he sat still in the fire and put down a smoke to extinguish it, and then actually went aggressive anyway. Krim's not quite prepared.
I think he felt uncomfortable going out towards checkers.
Oh, Olofmeister, that's a big missed shot, and now he's getting overwhelmed. Flusher wants to help, but he goes down as well. Pasha actually playing that one really smartly, just waiting and covering upper, knowing that his team was going to clear that bomb site no matter what.
Right.
So good teamwork from Virtus.pro. It's actually, Virtus.pro, they are a strong team, and they can be a strong, they can have good teamwork, but sometimes they end up playing just entirely individually. They seem to really be functioning as a unit right now. Especially
in these past 2 rounds, finding those kills, that Molotov forcing Krims out of the vents like we just talked about. So these past 2 rounds, they found some picks and they've converted that into round wins. So it's going very, very well for them at the moment. They were shut down earlier, but this late, they're finding these... Pronax here is going to be in a fight. Neo wins that one there. I mean, what it comes down to as well is they're just winning all these flat-out battles early on, and it's been a complete difference from the rounds they were struggling to win earlier to now. And even Taz trades that kill, so beautiful work by Virtus.pro, completely clearing out the economy, or the arsenal of Fnatic going forward.
Yeah, the Polish team, they're playing so incredibly well. Remember last season of ESEA, when it came to the grand finals, it was Fnatic taking 4 maps in a row and just crushing Virtus.pro. Right now, there's a real chance that VV could make this comeback work and actually win the grand finals right now. Fnatic, we talked about that bank, but they invested so much of it into double AWP and grenades, and now they actually do have to eco here.
Yeah, and Olaf, he's already taken down to 32 HP, but he's got a pop flash for himself. Although with the way that Virtus.pro's been playing, it blinds Taz, but he just blindly sprays and Olaf runs into it.
Oh no, it looked like he impaled himself on his AK, just charged him.
Bayonet.
Yeah, that is not good. It's a good boost, this one from JW, one that we've seen work wonders. Shroud, I think, has the greatest highlight. Yeah, that's true, actually. Maniac as well. So it's definitely a popular boost, and they're putting everyone else. It's a really smart call from Fnatic right now, actually.
Virtus.pro is the direct counter to it, and they're doing it blindly, walking up Speedway.
Wow.
You know, this is the one thing that really flat out destroys that. Taz is even pre-aiming at the corner, drops him with the headshot, so no party for JW up there. And it's just Snacks on the other side of the map. He's going to be all alone, and they're going to go out and they're going to trade this kill, so they do have an AK-47 if they can save that.
Yeah, there is at least that going into, but that was actually kind of cool to just catch Taz pre-aiming it, as you were talking about there. And it's the worst feeling in the world when you're holding on top of that box and then you see them coming out of Speedway there, because it's so hard to get out of it.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. And it stinks because you feel like there's so much potential for you to do something awesome if they come out A main, and it's just that one spot. So Krim's able to hold on to the AK for now. Taz is hunting him down towards T-spawn.
And there it is, Taz with a triple kill, stealing away the AK, really making life tough for Fnatic. Although the Swedish team will have a lot of money, including, well, 2 AWPs if they wanted to here, on and AWP and armor as well on the Fnatic side. They have the money for it. 12-12, and actually you can tell they take a while to buy, which is usually a good indication that there's a quick conversation on that team about exactly what they want to do. They go for the one on Olofmeister, and then it's emphasis on grenades instead on the rest of the team.
Right, but Virtus.pro's been playing these rounds so slow since they've started making a little bit of a comeback. They've won 2 or 3 in a row now, 3 I believe. And actually this time they quickly gained mid-control. Bialy and Taz already out. Oh, but there's Olofmeister opening up on Snacks over at B. Finds a gap in the smoke.
And Pronax far back in the site here. JW up on the railing. They gotta be careful. Bit of a grenade into main. Pronax gonna catch one person here, but JW's down. They just walked in blind into this bomb site. No noise being made. Pronax gonna go down. What a round from Virtus.pro. There was no signal that was coming until it was too late.
Yeah, 0 mid-control from Fnatic, and that's tough. And that's how crucial that portion of the map is. So information, but Olofmeister Neo gets caught after the bomb planted quickly down to a 1-on-3. So Taz has a lot of work to do in that. I believe they should know exactly where he is. He's back in the quad boxes, and he's going to get a spray down. He does land it. Gets away with a decent amount of health. Some nades raining in. He has that smoke to play with.
Hasn't reloaded yet, though. 10 bullets here, and there is a kit on Flusher, so they got some time here. Fnatic sprayed down on one. Flusher's down. The kit is lost as well. Krim's going to pick it up, but he doesn't have the kit. He's going to have to turn around. and there is going to be enough time. Oh, if that kid had landed on the other side, that would have been disastrous. That could have been dangerous. Or if it landed up here, so you'd have to jump up.
Anything, that would have been so scary. Taz almost makes it work, but once again, just, you know, even though they lost that round, which, you know, is obviously they don't want to lose any rounds, but they get the 4 kills, so they forced so many rebuys. There is an Op and Olaf Meister again, but, you know, if Virtus.pro is able to win this one, prevent Fnatic from stringing 2 together, now we talk about that economy continuously reset, and that'd be brutal this late in the match.
Given the success of the pistol round and how they very nearly won it based with the Molotov, I mean, it was only down to a couple of things I think that went wrong for them. I love to see them go for a B execute here with the Molotovs again, try and see if they can fire it out.
We see those executes more often in North America than I see European teams do them, and it's so efficient, and I'm always curious why, but Snack's opening up, so, I mean, these last 4 rounds have really come down to who's gotten that first kill, so crucially important moving forward, and, you know, every team that's gotten it has won their round in the last 4.
Great combination here, Molotov in checkered and vent, so if you try and fall back into checkered, you're going to fall into even more fire. It's such a shame that these executes always happen when there's no one there, because I love to see it when it really works, but that doesn't mean it's a bad idea, obviously.
Yeah, and both these teams have each other playing. Oh, wow. Look at this gamble over towards B. I wonder what this call was for. Some kind of read, some kind of information that maybe Pronex has on him, but it doesn't. It's not the right one, which is unfortunate because they're going to have to just huddle into this bomb site and save. They're so far away from recovering.
Well, you got to wonder if that is the double Molotov that goes in there. If maybe in practice they've seen that happen 100 times, that the double Molotov comes, then 10 seconds or 15, 20 seconds go by, and then VP end up in B anyway. But yeah, that's essentially a free round from Virtus.pro.
Yeah, just win by default there. And I mean, you can see that forcing, you know, one rotate, but a mass exodus that gives Virtus.pro this site for free. So it's going to be 13-13. And such a back and forth. This has been one of our more even maps throughout the entire event.
It's been really good, actually. All the maps so far in this grand finals have been very interesting. I think Season was maybe the closest one, but this one has potential to go the full distance as well. And
it's a different kind of close, because Season was Fnatic making that massive comeback in the second half. This one has been, you know, close all the way through back and forth rounds. So both these teams playing very, very well at the moment, and uncharacteristically, for at least for, you know, the matches we've seen them display here at the ESEA finals, is not as aggressive as we've seen them in the past matches that they've played.
Well, it's one of those calls, what we just saw. If, let's say, Virtus.pro had gone to B, Fnatic would have looked like geniuses, right? We would have been praising Pronex as this godlike mid-round caller. But every once in a while, you have to be wrong as well. And that was a costly one to miscall. 13-13. And close to the middle, Crims playing. Taz up there, right at the edge of the fire as well. They're going to bomb up once again the vent system. Crims, this is dangerous. If he can get 1 kill and trade here, that's good. If he can get 2, that would be godlike. But this is, he's surrounded entirely, and he's going to end up going down. Now, backup comes in here, but Fnatic, if they lose this round, they could end up losing this map. They don't have a lot of money either. Neo going to pick up Pronex, and JW Flusher playing close to middle. JW will go down. Wow. It's looking like there's no effort at all put into this from Virtus.pro. They're just getting all the frags.
A beautiful take, and look at once again that rotates. It was just so many people come at that point of attack. They wanted to shut that down and be able to retake a bomb site, but Virtus.pro plays it so slowly. Like Fnatic in the first half, when they got picks and then they slow played it, they kept killing more and more players off it. It just snowballed, and same thing out of Virtus.pro here. Knowing that Fnatic has to peek to find the information, and now it's just Olaf Meister trying to save this off, but he's going to go down. A fantastic round from Virtus.pro.
Wow. 14-13. They take the round lead now, and also put Fnatic essentially on equal, unless they're going to try and force it up here and not want to fight for overtime. But it looks like they might try and just actually do that. Go for the overtime instead.
Well, the other option is, I mean, force buying. You're forced into two really bad buys here in the last 2 rounds. And you know, I think if the score was farther back, if Fnatic had 10 rounds, they might buy here and try and go for some magic. But this close, you only have 2 rounds to win. Play for the overtime.
Really scary situation now. The Molotovs are coming into play. VP have the economy for it. Crims, oh, he's going to get the 1 shot through there. Flusher inside the site. Actually gets the headshot on by Ali. Oh, the knife out. Not going to be good enough. And Crims charging through. Fnatic, they're turning it around, even with just pistols. It's a 2v1 now. Well, it's just a 2v2, and it seems like right at the end here, Virtus.pro come out on top anyway, though JW will pick up the 1 kill. Pasha inside, Checkard and Fnatic. Can they really come out of this with a victory? That would be huge. Pasha, I don't think he got spotted yet, so JW actually has a big advantage right now. Now he's revealed himself, goes for the fight, and Pasha gonna win it, and the crowd is loving it. Double kill. And what a steal at the end. That was so close.
Yeah, Fnatic not even having to force fight there to bring themselves into that round. So many players, they couldn't, Virtus.pro wasn't killing them fast enough, and they were able to just keep swarming into the bomb site and throwing bodies at it, trying to make it work, and it just barely fails in the end. And Pasha had the information that he would had to have been low. Pulls out the pistol there at the end.
Wow. So now it's all or nothing here for Fnatic. Losing this round means losing the grand finals, and VP can claim themselves champions. They will have revenge from last year. Pasha gonna open up here, and a roar goes through the crowd. They are really hyped up at this point in time. Crims holding close to middle once again. It didn't work last time, but it can definitely work. And he's just a little bit further back, and VP, oh, who's sneaking into B? It's Snacks through the smoke. Not many players can get away with that, but Snacks is one of them. And it's another opening going in favor of Virtus.pro. They're so close to doing it now.
Right, and this is going to spread the defense out completely. Crim's playing close up in mid, and one player over at B, not even in the site. He's rotating over. He's got to be very careful. That's Flusha. He has an AWP, and it does look like Virtus.pro with the bomb is working over their way, but like they've been doing this whole half, they're playing it so slow right now, looking for maybe one more pick before the commit.
Flusha, did he really miss that? That was down to some incredible timing. Snacks was right in there showing himself, and then Flusha, I think he just peeked away at the last possible pixel. And now they are coming for it. They still have 1 smoke, and they even have another one, Virtus.pro, and 2 Molotovs. That's such a lot of equipment to take this bomb site with, and there it is. Crim's going to be forced back as well. Is he going to try and wall bang through into Checkard? I mean, he's got the time for it. That Molotov, that smoke actually failed a little bit, went too far, but coming up from behind, Neo going to pick up 1 kill and still make it a 3v1, and Flusha, the only one holding on to this. Getting shut down, and Virtus.pro have done it. They win ESEA Grand Finals here, and $70,000.
What a fantastic performance in that second half. And they were getting shut down at the beginning of it. We were wondering, just like Fnatic did, when that timeout was going to come, when they were going to give them some time to talk over things. You guys can hear the shouts in the background, but they don't even need the timeout. They figure it out on the fly, and they make it work. So